And welcome to Boerne High School Stadium, Boerne ISD Stadium. Tony Brubaker, Brian Hill, as we bring you the Ranger Network in what will be, what we expect at least, is a really good game. The 4-0 Rangers against the 3-1 Chargers, who suffered their first loss of the season last week to the hands of Wagner, a team that gave the Rangers a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, as we know, Wagner's a really good team, and so that's nothing to be frowned upon there. And just watching the game back, they had every chance to win that game, had a few costly turnovers late, but they were in that game, and we expect a similar situation tonight. It's going to be a tough test for the Rangers.
Rangers defense has been known to take some turnovers, 21 turnovers gained this season. They're a plus 15 on the turnover margin. Clayton Amaya will kick it off, and the Chargers will be on offense to start it off as the Rangers won the toss and deferred. And we're underway. As has been the custom, Amaya's kickoff sails through the end zone. There won't be a return, and they'll start 1st and 10 from the 25.
Yeah, and for the champion offense, I think everything starts with their quarterback, number 8, Jordan Boerne. He is an athletic quarterback back there that loves to extend plays, loves to scramble. He's very dangerous with his feet, but also that's not all he's got. He's a very accurate passer as well with his favorite targets, number 15, Sawyer Boley, and number 3, Campbell DeBerry. Those guys have been big weapons for him, but he is most dangerous when he gets out of the pocket, he scrambles. So it's going to be a challenge for the Ranger defense to contain him tonight.
They average, do the Chargers, 36.1 points a game. Ballin, 1,609 yards throwing, another 400 rushing. So he is a multiple threat. Play action, he's got a man over the middle, and that's a completed pass for a first down to start us off. Is that that's a tight end, yeah, Ethan McVeigh.
Yeah, a little RPO play there, tight end over the middle, and they're going to go quick, try to catch the Rangers off guard a little bit.
McVeigh was covered, just not well enough. Some pressure back on Ballin. He's got one down the field, but it's incomplete as he underthrew his receiver on a play that really had a chance to be a home run ball, but he couldn't get it far enough. There was pressure. A couple of Rangers were close to him.
Yeah, it was a little burst route over the middle. They ran almost an extended sluggo. Inside receiver faked a skinny post. Davila bit down on it, then he bursted up the middle. We're fortunate to get away with an incompletion there.
So on 2nd and 10, here's Cole Ria. The tailback, the running back, whatever you call him, a senior at 6'1", 180, 505 yards and 6 touchdowns for him so far this season.
A good D by the Rangers there. This is 3rd and long, but this is where Ballin kind of makes his hay here. He loves scrambling around, extending plays. Wouldn't be surprised to see some either quarterback draw or him scramble around and try to make a play.
3 receivers, 2 to the far side, 1 to the near. They're going to change the play from the coaching staff. Play clock still at 10 right now. So he informs everybody what's going on. And on 3rd and 7, pressure comes in. We lose containment, though. There's a penalty flag, might be a face mask as the pass goes incomplete, because I think we might have got him on the face mask as he kind of ducked under a defender.
Yeah, good initial pressure, and like we said, that's what he likes to do. He likes to scramble. You could see him there trying to escape the pocket, and unfortunately we were kind of reaching up to try to maybe bat down a ball and then realized he was running, and as our arms were coming down, grabbed that face mask. So we're going to bail him out here on a 3rd and long. With good pressure from the defense, we're going to bail him out with a personal foul penalty, automatic first down.
All the way to the Ranger 42. So a lengthy penalty, 15 yards. It'll be 1st and 10 from the Ranger 42. The running back moves to the other side of him. Little option formation. He's going to pitch it late to Reha, who gets hit, stays on his feet, then gets drilled out of bounds by Spradling. So the Rangers do a pretty good job of containing the option on the far side. It's 2nd and 8.
Yeah, a little speed option play there. Good initial pressure, making Ballin pitch it, and then good pursuit downhill. I believe that was Miller coming downhill from a safety spot with the initial hit, and then Spradling finished it off.
So 2nd and 8 from the 40. Ballin surveying the offense. Now he asks his coaches for something new. They give him a signal. Play clock still at 10. Lots of time. They give it to Reha. He'll go up the middle and get a couple of yards, maybe to the 38. before he's smothered up. Sosa, one of those down there on the tackle.
Yeah, Sosa didn't finish it off, but Goss really got the initial pressure, slipped his single block by the guard there, and made the running back have to make a cut in the backfield, slow down his progress, and then his buddies came and made a big tackle there. Got another 3rd and long situation here.
All 3 receivers on the near sideline now on 3rd and 6. Ballin with Reha next to him. Fakes it. Pressure comes in. He has a man open, and it's a completed pass inside the 20. A good job for Sawyer Boley to get open. Gingrich and Davila over here on coverage. He's down to the 16 where it's 1st down.
Yeah, and we talked about it before the game. That's one of his favorite targets was Sawyer Boley. They ran a good concept there by offensive coordinator Kevin Brown. They kind of ran a clear-out route and then a rail, slipped him in behind, and then a good ball by Ballin to complete a big 3rd down there.
Motion across the formation now to an H-back on the right side. They'll fake the handoff. Ballin gets pressure, but he runs out of it. He'll get bumped out of bounds, but not until he's inside the 10. It won't be a 1st down, I don't think, but it'll be 2nd and short.
And again, that's what he gives you at the quarterback position. Even when you think you got everybody covered, him pulling it down doesn't seem like much right there, but you look up and all of a sudden it's 2nd and short with a gain of 8 there. So that's what he's really good at, is extending those plays. Going to have to try to do a good job all night of containing him.
In 7 games, the Rangers have given up only 7 points in the 1st quarter. Champion threatening to enlarge that number. Here's a handoff to their backup running back. I think that's Castillo, who's inside the 5. A bunch of Rangers down at the bottom of that pile, including Miller, the safety, and Spradley.
Yeah, Champion's doing a good job right now of having a lot of what we call eye candy, bringing a lot of motion, bringing a lot of guys, maybe getting the defense's eyes off of what they're supposed to be keying, and that time it was a simple inside handoff, and they were able to get good gain on that.
Couple of tight ends extra, and there's pressure, but the defense holds up. Good stop in the middle. Miller was there along with, I think that's the defensive end. Yeah, Owen Hack. So it's now, 3rd and goal.
Yeah, great stop there. It looked like his downward momentum. He was going to carry into the end zone pretty easily there, and I don't know whether it was Hack that made the initial contact or someone else, but someone stonewalled him.
Pardon me, it's 2nd and goal. They got a 1st down on that play inside the 5. Little motion around. They hand it off again. I do think that's Castillo, and he gets a touchdown. That'll be his 1st of the year if it is him. Or is that Reha?
I think that's Reha.
Yeah, Reha gets the touchdown. As I mentioned, that's number 7 now for him, and the extra point comes. Nathan Bell, a junior, is their place kicker. Good snap, good hold, kicks up and good. So Champion on the opening drive goes a little under 4 minutes and takes a 7-0 lead. We'll take a timeout on the Ranger Network.
Guys, look what just came in. Just in time.
Please tell me it's our hats.
It is, but these aren't the right ones.
Oh, great. What are we gonna do now? These will never work.
Hey, I know. Why don't we call your dad, no? Jeremy Fuller, State Farm Insurance, can help with anything.
Well, usually you can, but... Great idea. He helps my grandma with her business insurance. Yes, he does that, but not...
Yes, he even helped my mom with her boat insurance.
Yes, that's great, but he doesn't insure shipping.
There they are. I've been looking all over for those. The teachers are having a pool party after swim practice is done. And I think you're looking for these.
Thanks, Principal Snyder. Now we are ready.
And so are we.
Let's
Champion will kick it off as we're back. A short pop-up kick. Lost, bobbled, but fallen on. As the Rangers will have possession. A good job of one of the upbacks. That's Cisco Carvajal. Kind of a backup quarterback, tight end also. Anyway, the Rangers will start 1st and 10 in decent position at the 26-yard line. And the offense comes out averaging 38 points a game on the season. 190 yards rushing, 155 yards passing. Only 6 turnovers, and a couple of those recently.
Yeah, and a couple of those have been off of, protection issues, quarterback getting hit right when he throws it. What I'm looking for the Ranger offense tonight is explosive plays. We know they can go on long drives, run the ball, looking for some of those explosive plays.
Here's Freund. Room on the right side. He's got some room across midfield and finally brought down at about the 46 or we'll call it the 49-yard line of Champion on an explosive play of over 25 yards on first down.
Yeah, there it is, and that's exactly what they needed to get started. We call it, the Buffetus play, lining Freund up in the backfield, usually a wide receiver, lined up in the backfield, kind of running a block one way, send it back the other, and I'll tell you what, really good job by the outside wide receivers, Freddie and Duffy out there, blocking without holding, springing him loose for a big, explosive first play of the ball game.
Receivers are split. There's an H-back beside Ryland Walker. Sowersby fake. Now Ryland looking. A stop route by Duffy. Comes back to the ball. Makes the catch. Gets loose from the first tackler. Then gets shoved out of bounds by someone from the secondary. Looked like Evan Kuhl got him out late, but not until the Rangers get inside the third line.
And it's one of those routes that they've been really successful on for a number of weeks now. Really tough for a corner to defend that because it's essentially a 20-yard hook route. Long developing play, but good protection. And by the time you get to 20 yards, that corner's thinking, I don't want to get beat deep. So he just turns and runs, slams on the brake, and they've connected on that a number of times in the last couple weeks.
Freund to the right, Freddie to the left. Freddie now in motion across the formation. We give it to Sowersby. Had an opening on the right, then cut it back inside. Got another couple of yards. Ends up getting 6 or 7 on a first down play. So it's second and short for the Rangers.
Really good first down play there. Good job by Sowersby. Well blocked up front. And you always say, hey, we're going to block the front 7. Running back, it's your job to make number 8 miss, that safety miss. And he did a good job of making him miss in the hole. That first initial defender picking up 7 yards, keeping the Rangers on schedule.
So 2nd and 3. Again, a couple of tight ends out there now. 2 receivers both to the right. Walker fakes it to Sowersby, throws it to Freddie, catches it on the right flat, and gets first down yardage, shoved out of bounds, but not until he's inside the 20, which is good enough for a first down.
Really impressed with the variety of plays that the Rangers have had. I know it's only been 4 or 5 plays, but we've seen a good variety of runs, explosive plays, off-schedule plays, and I think that's the goal of the first drive, other than to obviously score. But the initial point of the first drive is to multiple formations, make them think a little bit, get the ball to a bunch of different people so they can't key in on one thing, and they're doing a good job of that.
Again, tight end left, receivers split. Sowersby coming left. Tries to find a seam, then bounces it outside, inside the 10, the 5, touchdown. Brad Sowersby with his 8th touchdown of the year on a nice run of about 14 yards, and the Rangers will tie it with an extra point here.
Really good job up front, and you can see the replay there. Good job of Sowersby bouncing it outside. And then I'll tell you what, the final seal block, if you will, good job by Freddie on the outside, pinning his cornerback in there. And then good job by Sowersby bouncing it out. Great response by the Ranger offense.
Amaya's extra point is up and good. We're 7-7. Each team has had 1 possession, and each team has scored. And there's a timeout on the Rangers Network.
Got the tickets?
Yep, I got them right here. I'll see you at 9.
Call GVTC today for our premium Wi-Fi service. Because Wi-Fi dead zones are downright
Terrifying.
GVTC, official Wi-Fi of the undead.
Go. And it is a score fest so far. We've played not quite half of the first quarter, about 5.5 minutes, and each team has had a scoring drive where they've taken the ball and just marched down the field with a whole lot of fuss on either defense.
Yeah, and Champion was a little bit more slow and steady. I think that was an 8 or 9 play drive, and Rangers scored in about 5 with a number of, I think Sowersby, that touchdown carry, was his 2nd carry, but other than that, different people touched the ball pretty much every play. And again, that's your goal of the first 10 plays. You script those out, get however many formations we can get, to A, see how they're going to line up to him, but B, not let them key in on something, and let's get the ball to multiple different people and get our playmakers involved early, get their first catch, get their first run, get their first throw, so that they can settle into the game quickly. And a great first drive by the offense.
So 6:29 to go, opening quarter. Champion with their second possession as they'll march out in a tie score just like when they started. So they've got 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far. Reha, the tailback, next to Jordan Bawley. Fakes the handoff, looks across the middle, has a man flying down, and Davila will tackle him, but not until the catch is made. A big play.
Yeah, really good throw there by
40
Ball.
yards.
Really good throw. Had pressure in his face. Good job by Woods of pulling up. You can see on the replay. Had was able to maybe put a shot on him, but pulled up. And then I don't know whether we were in cover 2 or not, but that was a safety making the play there. So really good ball. Caught him in stride and an explosive play to start off the series.
Cameron Logan was the recipient of that great pass by Jordan Ballin. So they've got 1st and 10. Whoa. What's that 5-yard penalty?
I think they just misspotted it.
Okay.
And so they're moving it back and resetting the play clock.
So 1st and 10 from the 35. Ballin keeps after a fake of a handoff, but he'll get tackled by Braxton Alexander, who's in the middle tonight. Jackson Maynard out with he banged up last game, so he and his 80-some tackles is out tonight. Braxton Alexander with 18 tackles and a couple of hurries is in the middle tonight to start.
A good play by them. Defensive end took the dive, made the quarterback pull it. Good job, Alexander, doing his job, flowing over the top and keeping him to a minimum gain.
3-yard gain. Ballin now wants to throw. There's a little bit of pressure. He gets hit as he lets it go, but that's a touchdown pass into the end zone. Davila on coverage. We'll see who it was that made the catch. And the Chargers take a 13-0 lead with the extra point to come.
I'm trying to see on the replay here. I don't know whether that was an outside wide receiver and that was cover 2 that got behind our safety, or whether that was an inside receiver who was matched up the whole time with our safety. But that's the second time that they have hit one over the top of our safety on a post. First play of the drive, and then that touchdown play. So that's definitely something that Coach Worsley and the defensive staff are going to address, and I would expect that to get that cleaned up a little bit.
The extra point is good. Campbell to Berry, the touchdown reception. So that'll make it a 14-7 score in favor of the Chargers. And we're back after this timeout on the Rangers Network.
Welcome to Summerhill Dental, your Hill Country dentist. We are located just a few miles from Smithson Valley High School and ready to serve the entire family's needs. We specialize in same-day crowns, implants, sleep apnea, and whole health smiles. We love our community, and we are proud to call ourselves Rangers. Come see us today.
Go. And we're back again. The Chargers have now had 2 possessions and have scored on both of them. The Ranger defense just not feeling comfortable right yet. They're in a high-scoring offense. Let's not forget that point.
Sure.
But our defense hasn't found its rhythm yet.
Yeah, and we're accustomed to our front 4 getting a lot of pressure on the quarterback without having to blitz, being able to put pressure on him. And so far, we're not landing home quite yet. He's getting comfortable back there. I've noticed he's got a really deep drop. Mm-hmm. And so it's taking a little bit longer getting to him, and he's making accurate throws in rhythm. And, on the secondary, we're getting beat over the top a little bit, so I'm sure that we'll get that cleaned up.
They'll kick off again. Another pop-up fielded by Duffy at the 20. Avoids a couple attackers and then loses the ball. Picked up by a Ranger, and he'll go out of bounds, but not till about the 40. Good job of being Johnny on the spot for Dudzikowski.
Yeah. Tell you what, old Duds, not only does he make tackles and interceptions and stuff like that, but he's always in the right spot on defense, and that time he was in the right spot on the kickoff return. Duffy, ball pops loose there. Guy hits him from behind without seeing it, and Dudzikowski is right there and not only recovers it, but advances it another 5 or 10 yards, setting the Rangers up past the 40-yard line with the offense in good field position.
Yeah, Duffy was tackled just past the 30, and Dudzikowski got it about another 8 or 10 yards. So back out, Rylan Walker in the offense. Everybody's kind of in tight, 2 receivers to the right. Little motion from the H-back. A fake to Spradling, who's now in at running back. We'll go long looking for Freddie, but he overthrows him. Freddie kind of bumped a little bit and held up by the defensive back. Tell you what I've found here so far tonight, their gray uniforms with gray numbers and a small outline makes it really hard to see most of their numbers. Unless they're square at you, you really can't see what that number is. And that's what's happened on most of their defensive backs.
Yeah, it looks like you're going to get some sort of personal foul penalty. There's a defender that lost a helmet, and they're not making him leave. So therefore, you don't have to leave if your helmet's taken off due to a penalty. So we must be saying
we lost 15
illegal
yards
hands to the face there. But on the route, we tried to go a post over the top from a compressed set, and Freddie got jammed at the top of the route. And so that's why the timing was off a little bit, but nonetheless, we got minus 15 yards here.
So 1st and 25. They've got 7 or 8 in the box. We give it to Spradling, but there's a bunch of numbers there, and they stop him after a short gain.
Yeah, tried to run a little draw play there. Quarterback looks out like we're going to throw one of those quick hitches like we usually do. Hands it off to Spradling. Had a little bit of a crease there, but Champion timed up a good blitz. Brought a blitz by their linebacker, number 99, Gage Goldberg. And he was able to make the play, but if we were able to squeeze past him, I think it was going to be a big game, but 2nd and very long.
So 3 receivers all to the right now for the Rangers. Walker will roll to the right. Has a couple of men, throws it to the short one, which is Freund, and he completes it and goes out of bounds at about the 32-yard line, maybe the 30, well, we'll say 32. So now it is 3rd down and about 19, so still 3rd and long.
Yeah, and this is one of those situations to where, obviously it's a very low percentage conversion right here. So what you don't want to do is, force something to try to get a 3rd and 19 here. If it's there, take it. Maybe the, receiver can catch and break a tackle and run after the catch. But it's okay. The defense will get settled in. So if it's not there, we can always punt and then go play defense and live to fight another day.
Duffy and DuBose on the near sideline. Ryland wants to throw. It's a back shoulder, and Duffy can't hang on to it. What a great throw by Ryland Walker, and Duffy had his hands on it. Good coverage on the play, and that's what probably bothered him the most. I think that was
Brooks Jones, number 20. You can see the replay here. Great throw by Ryland. That is a design back shoulder fade. Duffy does a really good job of selling it and then fading real late. I'm not sure whether the defender got his hand in there or not, but nonetheless it was tight coverage. And
Amaya's punt is a short. It won't get a good Ranger roll. In fact, it goes out of bounds at about the 34. So the Rangers will turn it over to the Chargers by punt, and we'll keep it here, but the Chargers have possession again.
Yeah, and again, that whole drive was thrown off by that initial 15-yard penalty. Anytime you do that, obviously, you don't have many good calls for 3rd and 19. And a really good call and a good ball there by Ryland on the back shoulder fade just didn't work out. And punt and not really going the Rangers' way right now. Usually that ball rolls out for another 15, 20 yards. That time it hit and
absolutely
went directly right out of bounds. And so Champion will have pretty good field position. And we'll see if our defense made some adjustments, see if we can stand in there strong.
So 1st and 10 from the 34. Pressure blitz from the outside. They give a handoff, and he won't go far. Everybody's there for the Rangers. Kuhn and Roberts, I think, both of them. Sosa.
But you could tell it's like, okay, we're not going to let him sit back there and be comfortable anymore. We brought a double-edged pressure there, Spradling off the edge. It was a handoff, but we ended up getting pressure. So I think that's our adjustment is we're going to try to get some pressure on the quarterback here and not let him stand back there and throw those balls in rhythm.
4 receivers set. We haven't seen that much, but they've gone to it here. Reha gets it going outside left. Gets outside. A good carry for good yardage. It'll make 3rd and short. Well, 3rd and about 4.
Not technically supposed to be. That's not technically supposed to be legal anymore.
What's that?
Inside slot receiver to the boundary, lined up outside of our linebacker and coming back in and cracking him on the blindside block.
You're right.
But I guess because he didn't, fall down or lay there, they're not gonna call it. But not supposed to be able to block outside in on a blindside block anymore.
So it's 3rd and 4. We get some pressure, but Ballin escapes it. He's still on the roll and throws it out of bounds, incomplete as they push him out of bounds near the Charger bench. So that'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah, good pursuit by Woods and Goss there, and a great job by Goss. I'll tell you what, it's very easy knowing that he's a running quarterback to want to get a hit on him because you never know. He could have 1 foot in bounds and still try to throw it. But he did a good job on their bench of pulling up and not hitting him right, on a bang-bang play out of bounds, forcing the incompletion but not getting a personal foul, and Rangers will force them to punt now.
3.5 to go. Ballin is the punter as well. Pressure coming in. Is he going to throw it? We've got a chase on him. Now he gets rid of it late, and it goes incomplete because we knock it down, and the Rangers will take over in their territory at the 40-yard line of the Chargers. 1st and 10 for the Rangers.
Yeah, we had Gingrich with pressure. I'm pretty sure that was a design. Maybe it was one of those where if you see it, you can do it, but if it's not there, punt it.
You don't think they checked to it because everybody moved outside?
I want to say that it's one of those ones where they do that rugby punt with your athlete back there.
Yeah.
Hey, roll out. If the guy's not there, then go ahead and punt it. But if you see it, you have the freedom to do it. And he felt like he had the freedom, but Gingrich was closing on him, and then a great play by Dudzikowski batting it down. Rangers are in great field position.
So 1st and 10 from the 40. A lone setback with a couple of receivers. They'll flip it to Freddie to the short side. Not much room. He knifes ahead and gets a couple of yards, then comes away from them, and he's still loose as he finally gets tackled down at the 37-yard line. But I bet he ran about 30 yards to get 3.
Yeah, that was an impressive 3-yard run there. Kind of bottled up on the edge, broke a couple tackles. I thought he was going to come all the way back. Right there you see. And then last shoestring tackle. If that shoestring tackle doesn't happen, he's coming all the way out the backside for probably a touchdown. But a good physical, hard-nosed 3-yard run there by Freddie.
So it's 2nd and 7 from the 37. 2:45 on a running first quarter clock. A lot of offense in this first quarter. Walker has 2 receivers either way right now, and the Rangers are going to call a timeout. We'll keep this one here because we don't think it'll be very long, but in any event, what they've put 4 receivers out there. What do you think the reason we called a timeout? We didn't see.
Well, you can see that we have some coaches that, Coach Hill calls the play through the headset. We got a couple different guys who are signaling, and you could see right when we called timeout, those signal guys were walking out there and, using hand motion. So obviously there was a miscommunication. Someone lined up wrong. The formation was not correct. And so instead of maybe making a bad play worse, take a timeout and make sure everybody's on the same page. Because, again, you've been gifted good field position here. The last thing you want to do is have a negative play for a long sack or something like that and get taken out of your rhythm. So timeout here, settle everybody down, make sure everybody's on the same page, see if we can cap off this drive with some points.
All right, Rangers will break their huddle. The play clock will begin shortly. There it goes. So again, 2.5 to go. It's 14-7, Champion up by a touchdown. Rangers on the move. Walker has 2 receivers to the near sideline. We'll get it to Freddie with a blocker in front of him. He uses his athleticism and then gets out of a tackle, finally spun down late, but he's got good yardage, enough for a first down on a nice pass play by Ryland Walker to Freddie.
Yeah, good job by Freund out there blocking his corner, and then Freddie did the rest, set him up like he's going outside, then hit that crease. Great job of sticking your foot in the ground. Anytime you throw one of those, bubble screens or those hitches, your goal is 5 or 6 yards. That time he was able to fight his way forward, pick up about 7 for a first down. So it's exactly what you want there, and setting up for potentially some sort of and go down the road, maybe like a hitch and go or a bubble and go or something like that for a big play down the road.
So tight end on the left, 2 receivers on the right. The H-back is Freund. We'll flip it to him, and there's pressure, and he's thrown back for a loss.
Yeah, that was the same play that we ran in the first play of the game. A little bit different formation, but essentially the same play. And that time they happened to time up a blitz, and the outside pressure was able to get underneath our pin block and tackle us for a big loss there. We had everything else walled off. If we were able to get around that, I think that we were in pretty good shape there. But that time, good call by the defense, and they timed up a blitz to basically a perfect call for what we had called there.
2nd and 16 from the 36. Walker Wants to throw. Has Freund on a skinny post. He makes the completion, and that'll set us up inside the 25. At the 21, it'll be third and just a couple of yards to go.
I'll tell you what, I'm really impressed with Ryland here, standing in the pocket and delivering that ball. They came with a 7-man blitz, so they came with more defenders than we can block. I guarantee you he knew that. He saw it, but he stood in there, delivered a rope over the middle to Freund on one-on-one coverage to be able to get this back to third manageable. And I wouldn't doubt that if we don't get it here, depending on how long the yardage is, we might be 4-down territory here.
Sowersby is the back, a couple of tight ends.
You can see those linebackers creeping up. I don't know whether they'll call it off now that we ran an audible, but they were going to come.
We give it to Sowersby going right. He gets outside. He's got first down yardage as he gets out of bounds. Good job. Good run by Brad.
Good job knowing exactly where that first down yardage, that first down marker was. It's always dangerous to bounce something outside when it's third and short. Like the coaches always say, that's fine, but you better get it. And he sure did, and he knew exactly where that stick was and got a big first down there. And I'll tell you what, that was a huge conversion. Last possession, we got 15-yard penalty, weren't able to convert, and this time we had a big tackle for loss on first down, so a good job of coming back and converting a first down after a big first down loss.
So Walker with an H-back next to him, gives it to Sowersby, this time coming left. He cuts in, and the line of scrimmage was the 19. He'll get to about the 17, so a gain of a couple. It's 2nd and 8.
And nothing really there on that stretch play. Front side D lineman did a good job of getting up the field, made Sowersby cut back. They had defenders waiting, so a pretty decent job by him. I mean, it's a 1-yard run, so it doesn't look like much, but good job of not trying to make too much out of it, stick his nose up in there, push the pile for at least somewhat of a positive game.
So 2nd and 8 from the 17. Both receivers are split now. Freddie in motion. Would give it to Sowersby, and he doesn't get far. Got met at the line of scrimmage, kind of popped through that, and gets up to, well, just inside. We'll call it the 16. So it'll be third and a good long 6.
Yeah, and Champion defense is bringing a lot. That'll be the last play of the quarter, but before we go, they're bringing a lot of pressure. And so it's kind of feast or famine. They can make the tackle for a loss, or if we're able to crease that, it's going to be a big play. So we'll look to see if they continue to do that.
That is the end of the first quarter, 14-7. Champion on top of the Rangers. Back after this timeout on the Rangers Network.
Building a home, have hail damage, or your roof has just grown old and tired. Eternal Roofing's award-winning company will meet all of your roofing needs. We specialize in all roofing styles and service the Hill Country and surrounding areas. We are family-owned and fellow Rangers that love our community and look forward to growing alongside of it. Call us today and go Rangers!
Welcome to Summerhill Dental, your Hill Country dentist. We are located just a few miles from Smithson Valley High School and ready to serve the entire family's needs. We specialize in same-day crowns, implants, sleep apnea, and whole health smiles. We love our community and we are proud to call ourselves Rangers. Come see us today.
Go.
We are back in Boerne, Texas. The Chargers lead at 14-7, 3rd and 8 for the Rangers. They'll throw it to Duffy inside the 15, inside the 10. You see something on his chin guard or something is popped up in the air, but he is stopped at the 10, a yard shy of a first down.
Yeah, no hesitation whatsoever. They're going to go for it here on 4th and short. And I was going to say, at 3rd and 7 there, well within Amaya's range, but I was going to guess that if it's 4th and 2 or so or less, that we were going to go for it. Ran a good slant route there. Duffy gets up the field and makes it about a 4th and 1. Wouldn't be surprised to see the Rangers maybe use a hard count here. But nonetheless, I think they're going to go for it on 4th down here.
They are. Both receivers, Freund and DeBose, to the left. Tight end Baker's on the right. We give it to, that's a Sowersby, and that's a first down run. A nice job of coming up and planting that right foot and getting up the field.
Yeah, and again, like what we talked about before, hey, we're blocking these front 7 guys. You're going to have to make that 8th guy miss, whether it be a corner, whether it be a safety. And that time they had one unblocked guy left, and Sowersby did a great job of making that one cut, like you mentioned, getting north and south, knowing the situation, and getting the first down.
I will tell you, there's one number I keep seeing, and that's 54, Ethan Stanley, the senior nose tackle, has been near or at each tackle in the last several plays.
Yeah, their defense has been very active. They're bringing pressure every single play. You see those linebackers mugged up. Here they come again.
First and goal, Sowersby straight through, another touchdown. He gets hit in the end zone, but it is another touchdown as Sowersby gets his second of the game, this one from 2 yards. And the Rangers are an extra point from tying it here.
Yeah, we talked about it before. We went to break for the quarter. They are bringing pressure pretty much every play. They're gambling. It's feast or famine. Sometimes it makes you look bad because they could stop you. But if you're able to break past that first level defense, then it's a big explosive play. And you see that by a walk-in touchdown by Sowersby there. We got past the first initial defense, and there's nobody there left.
Amaya drills the extra point, so we're tied at 14 all, just a minute and a half into the second quarter. This is the Ranger Network.
Oh, man, here's a broken play. I don't think any of these guys are north to south runners. I mean, look at this one here. Just bounced outside with no blockers ahead of him. But you can always call a Hail Mary, and the guy that you want as your QB is Dr. Ferris. I mean, you give Dr. Ferris the ball, and boom, good things happen. Yep, that's Ferris Orthodontics again with that really nice new smile.
Go.
Clayton Amaya will kick it off as we're tied at 14, 10:39 to go, second quarter action here in Boerne, Texas. Amaya's kickoff this time will land just into the end zone and then go out of bounds, but it went into the end zone first, so that's a touchback, and the ball will come out to the 25 for the Boerne champion Chargers.
Yeah, so obviously after giving up 2 touchdowns in the first 2 drives, we saw what the Rangers and Coach Worstifer and his defensive staff, what their adjustments are. They said, okay, we're not gonna let him get comfortable back there, because first 2 times he got to throw on rhythm, 3-step drop, 1 hitch. He threw 2 posts that were absolutely beautiful thrown, well thrown balls. And so last drive you saw a lot more pressure. Bringing Dudzikowski and Spradling off the edge, able to create some pressure and make him flush, get them off schedule, so I would expect to see a little bit more of that, trying to get some pressure on a very athletic quarterback.
Reha the tailback, ball in the quarterback. Fakes the handoff, Dudzikowski on a blitz. He gets outside, and he throws it. Did they end up catching that, or was... Yeah. Wow.
I'll tell you what, that went from...
He was almost past the line of scrimmage when he threw that, but nobody's paying attention.
Yeah, you see the replay here. We do a good job of flushing him, and he makes an errant throw. I don't know whether he's trying to throw it away or what, but Gingrich jumps up, catches the ball, but knows he's going to be out of bounds, so tries to throw it back into one of his teammates. And the champion guy just happens to be standing there, and he makes the catch, so it ends up being about a 20-yard gain on an ill-advised throw.
First down on the 49. He throws a low ball. I don't think it's caught. Just past the 50. It's incomplete. It'll be second down and 10 as his throw was short of his intended receiver.
And that play reminded me of, if you remember last week versus Mac, we had a fumble, and I think it was Dudzikowski maybe, and then he was getting tackled and threw it behind him. They called him down, but we caught it and would have scored. And so I made that comment during that. I said, that's one of those ones where the coach says, be careful type of deal. And that time it came back to bite us. But
there is a 5-yard penalty on them. Again, we didn't see the signal on that one either. So first and 15 now from the 44. DeBerry's down on this end. So a 2-by-2 receiver set, 2 stacked on either side. We hand it to Reha straight up the middle, runs into his own lineman because he's being stood up by a linebacker. Actually, yes, by Spradling. Down at the bottom is Braxton. So they get 4 yards. It's second and 11.
Yeah, good play. Looked like they had initial crease there, and I think that was Braxton Alexander that was able to kind of stand up that lead blocker and force the back to run into his own guy. And then by that time, the rest of the Ranger defense was rallying to make a tackle. So 2nd and long here.
So 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the near side. Our defensive line gets set. Here comes pressure. We're after Ballin. We've got a beat on him. He throws it late. Has to be grounding.
That's got to be on them.
That's got to be grounding, not a.
No, they threw a penalty for after the play, and that hopefully that's not on Woods because he was getting up and their quarterback grabbed him, but then he fell down, and I'm worried that the ref saw something that wasn't there because that's
intentional grounding because he threw it.
And it did not cross the line of scrimmage.
And it did not get to the line of scrimmage. That's the call.
Okay.
And it is a loss of down, so it'll be 3rd and long.
Well, it's weird because he threw it right at where the 2 guys were, so I thought he was calling something with an extracurricular. But, yes, you are correct. Even though you're outside the pocket, when you throw it away, if there's not a receiver, it's got to get past the line of scrimmage, and that one didn't. That time, again, bringing pressure. Woods came free and weren't able to get a sack, but it turns into as good of a sack with the loss of down and a spot penalty. On the intentional grounding. So we've got 3rd and about 25 here.
Yeah, 3rd and long. 2 receivers near side.
I would not be surprised if we saw
far side.
A quarterback draw here. I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't know that I'd argue with you there. We got 7 men coming. They've blitzed.
There it is.
He's loose. Miller's got a track on him and shoves him out of bounds along with, is that Duffy? So he gets across midfield to the 46. It'll be 4th down and about 5.
It's just what they wanted, to be able to have themselves a relatively short chance to be able to go for it on 4th down. We brought pressure, and somebody missed a gap, and they ran a quarterback draw and was able to break that first level defense when everybody else was.
We said all 3 linebackers, didn't we?
We brought 2 of them, and everybody else was dropping into coverage. So if you get past that first wave, that everybody else is in coverage. So 4th down, though.
4th down and 5. They're going to go for it. They fake a handoff, pressure on ball, and he throws it up in the air, but it'll go out of bounds, and they'll turn it over on downs again.
That's Hudson Woods for you right there. There's not a whole lot of D linemen in the city or the state, for that matter, that can run with their quarterback Ballin. He is very athletic and very fast, and Woods changed direction, and a lot of times Ballin's able to get outside of pressure and go run it for himself, but he wasn't able to do that right now because Hudson Woods was right in his face. Phenomenal play by Woods and a big 4th down stop for the Ranger defense.
So if nothing else, he gets a couple more hurries, which he already has a half a dozen, So the Rangers, for the 2nd possession in a row, get good field position. They're at their own 46. 1st and 10, split receivers, a late pitch. This is Sowersby again, is it not? Yes, and he breaks through a tackle, gets almost 1st down. I think they're going to give him 1st down yardage with a 10-yard gain.
And I think that was essentially the play that we had done with Freund, where we block one way, pitch it to him going the other way. But this time we did it with the running back and just tossed it out there to him. And a lot of misdirection there, and good blocking up front, and a big 1st down conversion.
So all the way to their 43, where it's 1st and 10, 8:45 to go on your 2nd quarter clock. Rangers break the huddle with a receiver split either way. Tight end on the left, H-back on the right. Walker to throw, looking for DeBose down the field. He's got some room, and he can't pull it in.
Great throw.
That ball seemed to fall right into his hands, and he just couldn't grab it.
Right before we snapped it, I said that we got one-on-one coverage with both receivers on both sides. I wouldn't be surprised to take a shot. Once you cross midfield, a great time to take a shot. And that time they ran a sluggo route, a slant and go. And I'll tell you what, a great throw by Ryland. Just went right through the hands of Freddie there. But I like the play call, aggressive, trying to take a shot once you cross midfield. Just didn't end up working out, but at least it might make those corners think twice about coming up and pressing on those short underneath routes.
So Freund goes to the far side, DeBose to the near side. Walker fakes the handoff, looking for Freund, stop route, and it goes through his hands above it, a little too high maybe, but he can't pull it in from over his head. And it's 3rd and 10 now, again from the 43.
Yeah, that was that deep hook route that we've talked about that we connected earlier in the game with Duffy. That time, it was really good timing by Ryland, maybe just a touch high. And I think Freund maybe got some contact at the top of his route, didn't get his head around to find the ball early enough. And so we're unable to connect there. So, again, another 3rd and long. And we'll see what happens here. Again, I think it all depends on how much we get on this down to dictate whether it's 4-down territory or not.
Brody Day in along with 2 on the top. DeBose here on the near side. We fake the handoff. There's some pressure. He's got a little post route to Freund, and that's good for a 1st down inside the 30 at the 29. A good catch by Cole Freund.
And I'll tell you what, Ryland throws that ball so good. It's the, not taking a drop, but kind of ride fake and then just reset my feet, throw that little skinny post to the inside receiver. Great hands by Freund because it was actually pretty good coverage. And he reached out there and grabbed it for a huge 1st down there for the Rangers. 2
receivers, a tight end, an H-back, and a running back now for Ryland Walker. The receivers are split. They want to blitz. Nice hard count to see if they jump a little bit. 7:50 on a running 2nd quarter clock.
And stretch to the field. There we go. We got
Here's
numbers.
Spradling runs over somebody but gets stopped after a 4-yard gain.
Yeah, obviously the coaches kind of saw right there, get up to the line of scrimmage. A lot of times when you call that hard count, yeah, okay, that'd be great if we get an offsides penalty. But also it's a chance for the offensive coaches to see how they're lined up, and then they'll signal in another play. And right there we could tell that they were outnumbered up to the boundary, so they called the outside zone to the field, and were able to pick up a good yardage on 1st down.
So 2nd and 6. We need to get to the 19 for a 1st down. A delay handoff. Spradling coming right, has a seam, breaks a tackle, runs over somebody, gets tackled from behind with about 5 of them around him, but he gets a gain up to the 15. That'll be another 1st down for the Rangers. And again, 5 different players, including their middle linebacker, Gage Goldberg, was trying to bring him down, and it took all of them.
A good physical run by Captain America there. A little bit, that's kind of his nickname. He does a little bit of everything, obviously really good kid, but plays a little bit of every single position. Swiss Army knife, good physical run, finishing the run there, running over a defender.
Another delay handoff, this one to the left. Spradling has room, gets good yardage up to the 9, so a gain of about 6 before he's dragged down. And the Rangers are knocking on the door as we go under 6.5 to play in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, I think that's about the first time that the last play and this one ran it 2 times in a row, seeing what we call a gap scheme, where it was a guard pull and a fullback pull. And obviously that first one, Spradling got about 15 yards. So we said, let's not complicate things. Let's run it to the other side. And another big gain there. Really good job by the pulling guard and pulling fullback there, leading up for Spradling there.
Both receivers on the near side, Freund and DeBose. Tight end also. Spradling up the middle. We get a good surge by the offensive line, who's pushing defenders all the way into the end zone. A tackle at the 5. I think that's 1st and goal, as it is another 1st down for the Rangers.
Yeah, obviously we still got some work to do to cap this thing off, but this has been a really good drive by Smithson Valley, obviously, after the big stop, but good long drive, keep the opposing offense off the field. You know that you get the ball coming out in the 2nd half, so what you'd love is take some time off the clock, go score, hopefully hold them, and then get another possession right at the beginning of the half. But it's so fun watching this mix of Sowersby and Spradling, different running styles, but obviously both very effective.
So 1st and goal from the 5. Walker to Spradling. There's a seam. He's got a couple of yards inside the 5 to about the 3 or 2, I think. It'll be 2nd and goal. Good blocking up front. We didn't get as much of a surge, but we still got a surge.
And there's that gap scheme again, that GF, whatever you want to call it, counter, GF. And that time they had a guy up the field. Didn't quite get a big piece of him, but just got just enough to let Spradling get up underneath it and still get a positive yardage there. So we got 2nd and goal from the 2.
Who do you think they're going to give it to? Spradling?
I would.
The H-back moves to the left. Spradling to the left. There he is in the end zone. So 3 running back touchdowns. Spradling from 2 yards out. And the Rangers go up by a touchdown with an extra point to come.
Yeah, and that was one of those situations where we'd run it up the middle 2 or 3 times, and, okay, we get down inside the 2-yard line. So the defense is thinking, okay, they're going to run it up the middle again. So they brought double A-gap pressure by both linebackers. Rangers calling outside zone. And if all we got to do is get that defensive end sealed, and it's a walk-in, and great blocking up front and a walk-in touchdown by Spradling.
Freund the holder, Amaya the kicker. This one's up and good. It's 21-14. Rangers up by a score. Their first lead of the game. And there's a timeout on the field with 4:47 to go on the Ranger Network.
Welcome to Summerhill Dental, your Hill Country dentist. We are located just a few miles from Smithson Valley High School and ready to serve the entire family's needs. We specialize in same-day crowns, implants, sleep apnea, and whole health smiles. We love our community and we are proud to call ourselves Rangers. Come see us today.
And go.
And we're back to Boerne. The head coach of the Chargers in his first year is Blaine Ellis, and he's off to a good start at 6-1, 3-1 in district play. Defensive coordinator, you said last year?
Yeah, he's been with the staff for a little while. He was the defensive coordinator when the previous head coach retired. They promoted him, and he's done a good job. We got a couple ex-Rangers on the staff. So, with Ben Woodchick, he's coaching football, but also obviously their head baseball coach. And we got Josh Adkins, a former Smithson Valley quarterback for a number of years that's also coaching over here. And so they speak very highly of their head coach, and they're doing a phenomenal job.
All right, Amaya's kickoff, as we don't even really have to describe it anymore. It always goes into the end zone, and it's a touchback. But Champion will start 1st and 10 from their own 25, 4:47 to go. Second quarter, Rangers lead at 21-17. We expect them to try to score to tie it before the end of the half, but the Rangers have had a couple of stops in a row.
Yeah, and you could tell Coach Worsty and his defensive staff, there's never panic. It's okay. What did we do? Let's make some corrections, and it's been apparent that the last two drives, their answer has been we need more pressure. And so they've been blitzing a lot, at least one linebacker almost every play, and it's been very effective disrupting the timing of the offense.
2-by-2 receivers. The running back goes out in the route to block, and I think we almost intercept it. Duffy, they threw it. They ran Reha out to the right as a blocker, then threw a bubble screen, if you will, and Duffy was right there.
Yeah, and Duffy gets about 1,000 reps of that during practice because that's the play that the Rangers have run on offense for about the last, 30 years or so. And so he's seen that plenty of times. So great job of him making the defender miss and getting upfield. And even if he'd have caught that ball, I think it would have been a tackle for loss.
So 2-by-2 receivers again. Reha, the running back, comes in motion again to the near side.
Pressure.
Ballin wants to throw, but he's being chased way back. Throws it away and probably got past the line of scrimmage this time as it goes over the top of the 25-yard line.
And again, pressure. I mean, Coach Worsty is dialing up some blitzes right now. We had two guys come free there. We blitzed an extra guy, so it was only a 5-man rush, so it wasn't a full blitz, but we had a twist in there in Hack, and Woods was able to get free and get pressure on the quarterback, make him throw it away. I would expect to see some more pressure here as well.
Ballin wants to run. We've got a shot at him, but miss him. Now we'll chase him out of bounds as Dudzikowski made sure after a gain of a couple of yards up to the 29, but it's 4th down again.
Again, you could see the athleticism there. There's 2 or 3 guys that most other quarterbacks were sacking for a loss. Able to get away. Great pursuit by Dudzikowski. And again, a heads-up play right there on the sideline, not doing that last push to maybe give them an excuse to throw the flag for unsportsmanlike conduct. And as you know, 4th and medium here. Ballin is always a threat to pull it down and fake it.
So they'll spread everybody out like they did last time when he did run it. We get close. Almost there was Gingrich. Duffy drops it, and now it's loose. And I think Champion fell on it.
Freund.
Freund, pardon me, was the receiver. Looked like he didn't feel it cleanly from the start. Is that right?
Yeah, he was bobbling it initially, bobbling it from the start, and then I think there was a hit on him that kind of jarred it loose. You could see here, doesn't really have it right there at all. And then the ball's on the ground, and it looks like we were about to jump on it, and then it gets kicked a little bit, and then the Chargers were right there to hop on it, and big momentum swing there. Defense goes out, makes Rangers offense scores, defense makes a stop. We're about to get the ball back with a chance to go up 2 scores right before half with a chance with getting the ball first in the second half. And now we've kind of given them new life here a little bit with, starting their drive inside the 30-yard line.
At the 27, 4:24 to go. Not much time went off the clock that last series by them. They've got 1st and 10, 2-by-2 receivers. Ballin's going to run. We have a couple of shots at him, but we miss him. Now we've got him. Kuhn had him biggest at the start. and a bunch of Rangers in there to help.
And again, just a really impressive 5-yard run there. Brought pressure off the edge again. Got them off schedule. Again, against most offenses, that's a sack because he raised up to throw it. Nothing was there, and he had a blitzer right in his face. But again, that's just the playmaking ability of their quarterback Boerne to turn something into nothing in a good 5-yard gain on first down.
So we're under 4 minutes to go. The clock runs. A couple of tight ends and receivers out there. Now actually one tight end on the right. They give it to Reha. He's got a surge of the offensive line, and he's got close to first down yardage. Maybe to the 19. They need to get to the 18 or 17, so it'll be second down and short.
Yeah, and
third down and short.
You can almost guarantee, unless there's a big loss here, they're thinking 4-down territory. Rangers offense has been rolling thus far. Every time that, I think they've only had to punt one time, and that was because that 15-yard penalty set them back. Every other time the Ranger offense has scored, and they're going to get the ball back to start the second half. So the Boerne coaching staff, Kevin Brown, their offensive coordinator, is thinking we got 2 more downs to get this. And so I wouldn't expect to see a field goal attempt here unless there's a big loss.
They're overloaded on the right. They give it to Reha. Up the middle he goes. He's got first down yardage to the 15. Game clock at 2:49. Stops for the chains to move. Then it'll restart, and it does.
It's like a very similar play to the Ranger offense. Bring in that guy in fly sweep motion, kind of getting some eyes on him, and then handing it off on the inside. Good push by their offensive line up front. And again, Ranger defense has been on the field quite a bit after getting that stop, but then the muffed punt.
We'll give it to Reha again. Up the middle he goes, a couple of yards, maybe 3. Rangers there. Spradling at the bottom.
I got a player down. Can't see the number. Those
Cannon Day also in on the tackle.
Dark navy numbers on the dark gray jerseys. It's hard for me to see who it was.
Yeah.
But
so we'll keep it here with 2:13 to go. Rangers up 21-14. They've got an injured player. Ball is at the 11-yard line where it's second down and 5. Rangers huddle up among their defensive coaches on the far sideline. Chargers with a whole bunch of coaches here on the near sideline. Trainers around the injured player.
I want to say that's number maybe 25, their tight end McVeigh.
I think you're right.
And again, it's hard to see those numbers. Either 25 or 35, but he's getting up, limping a little bit. Hopefully he's okay. But what that injury did a little bit is allow the Rangers defense to catch their breath, get some water real quick without having to use a timeout.
Right.
And so we'll see if we can kind of bow up here in the red zone after a quick sudden change of the fumble on the punt.
So again, second down and about 5. They need to get to the 6. The ball's at the 11. 2-by-2 receivers. Ball and keeps it after faking a handoff and finally gets brought down. Braxton Alexander with a tackle at the 10.
Again, had him kind of locked up in the backfield for what looked like was, you can see on the replay, about right there. Looked like it was about to be about a 2 or 3 yard loss. He wiggles out. Still really good pursuit. Held him to about a 1 yard gain there. But, again, that was really close to being a 3 or 4 yard loss. And so about 3rd and 4 here. Yep. Again, I would expect their offense is thinking they got 2 downs to get it. And they're taking their time here. They don't want to give the ball back to Smithson Valley with any time left on the clock.
Under a minute and a half to go. 3rd and 4 from the 10. Motion to the far side. Ball into throw. Looking left. Throws it over the top. Defensive back is there, and he makes a pick. Great job by the Rangers as they stop the drive. It's Gingrich. And the Rangers thwart the Chargers again.
What a play, Gingrich.
Wow.
Can't see it on the replay here, not a wide view, but I think they tried to run a sluggo, a double move, fake the slant, and then go up. Gingrich didn't bite on it, goes up and high points the ball. I don't know if the Rangers are going to go down and get any points here with only a minute and 12 seconds left, but a phenomenal job, huge interception there by Gingrich to keep them points off the board for the Rangers to be able to.
As you're watching that
out
live with me, he really had to get up to get one because that was a well-thrown ball.
Yeah, it had some air on it, and I'm sure that Jordan Ballen's thinking, man, I threw that ball up thinking it was going to get up over him, but Gingrich went up, high-pointed it for a huge interception. Great play, Gingrich.
Walker throws it to the edge. That's Freund. He'll get tackled. Stays in bounds. Clock continues to run on basically no gain. It'll be 2nd down and 10 as the game clock will go under a minute to go.
Yeah. We talk about this quite often. Whenever an offense gets the ball back with under 2 minutes left before a half or something like that, you really want to get the first down, and then you can start maybe using timeouts, because the last thing you want to do is 3 straight incompletions, no time off the clock, give them the ball back with some time. And so the Rangers are going to take their time here. And I would expect now that we're at about 30 seconds and no timeouts, we're going to be happy with a 7-point lead, knowing we're going to get the ball.
We're going to have to call a timeout because the play clock's under 5. Or will we get it? We got it off. Sowersby with the handoff, goes up the middle, breaks a tackle, squirts out, and I think he might have got a first down. He's awful close.
Maybe now Coach Hill's going to take a timeout.
So we will take a timeout with 16 seconds to go. It'll be 3rd and about a half a yard, maybe a foot.
I think we got the first down.
No, I think we did, yeah.
Yeah, that's why we're taking a timeout. I think that if we don't get the first down there, we'd let the clock run out. But now that we do, let's take a timeout. See, we got 2 more. So let's see if we can get a 15, 20-yard completion, maybe 2 of them, and then get Amaya's field goal range.
Yeah, I think with that might we were 2 on the scoreboard. Did we call one earlier?
I
didn't think we did, but the scoreboard had us for 2. But that.
Oh, yes, we did with the bad formation.
Right.
Miscommunicated.
Yes.
We called timeout because we were lined up in a bad formation. So, again, I would expect some sort of maybe even a back shoulder by the outside receiver or a catch-and-run slant type thing over the middle. That way we can get up, spike the ball, clock stops when the chains move, and then see if we can get down to about the 30-yard line or so, getting to Maya's range. Because as we know, he's got a very powerful leg.
Right.
So I think anything 50 or less, they might give him a shot to kick a field goal here before the half's over.
So the Rangers come out with both receivers on the far sideline. Ball in the middle of the field at the 30. 16 ticks on the clock or left.
Champions in a prevent defense, so you could see everybody looking over the sideline. Might be changing the play. Maybe a quick stop route or something, get out of bounds.
Give it to Bose with a blocker, Freund ahead of him. He'll go out of bounds at the 37, so a gain of 7, but now only 10 seconds to go. Clock is stopped with the out of bounds. It'll be 2nd and 3, but they remain kind of in prevent. 3 down linemen, about 3 linebackers in the middle, and 5 defensive backs more than 20 yards down the field.
Yeah, I think the Rangers, in order to get into field goal range, they're obviously not going to be able to throw it deep. It's going to have to be a short pass, catch and run, go get some yards, and maybe take your last time out with 1 or 2 seconds left. Maybe a ball down here to Duffy to the field, see if he can make somebody miss.
2x2 receivers, short throw. It's DuBose again. He's not going to get much as he continues to run and then goes out of bounds with 1 second left on the clock. But a long way from field goal range.
Yeah. I mean, Ryland's got arm strength, so I wouldn't be surprised to maybe see a big chunk into the end zone. Hail Mary type of ball, be about a 55-yard throw in the air. Obviously a good chunk, but I think he's got the arm strength to get it down there. So it'll be interesting to see whether we do that or whether, we're happy with the 7-point lead and just kind of hand the ball off on a draw and get into half.
Duffy and DuBose come out here to the near side. Baker on the far side. Walker to throw as the scoreboard sounds. Lets it go, and it's incomplete, and that'll be the end of the half. So the Rangers will go into the locker room at half, up 21-14 on 3 touchdowns, 2 by Sowersby, 1 by Spradling. We'll be back with the second half after the halftime festivities, so stick with us on the Ranger Network. All right, we're back in Boerne. The Chargers will kick it off. Another pop-up. Duffy takes it at the 20. Has a seam. Gets arm tackled and then brought down across the 30-yard line. So a good return. And the Rangers with good field position to start at the 32.
Yeah, pretty good return there, back to about the 33, 32, like you said. But I'll tell you what, we were one block away from it being even better than that. We had all the blocks except for one guy got loose, and he's the one that ended up making the tackle on Duffy. But it's apparent that's Champion's game plan to kick that little short bloop. Good job of our deep guy getting his hands on it. So pretty good field position, but we're pretty close to breaking that thing wide open.
All right, so here we go. Both receivers split to the far side. Tight end on the left, H-back. We fake it to Sowersby. We complete it to Duffy across the 40, and he gets first down yardage as he drags a couple of men with him about a couple of yards up to the 43, and that's 1st and 10 for the Rangers.
That was Freddie. I think that was Freddie.
Didn't I say Freddie?
I think it said Duffy. But
no,
either way, yeah.
I meant to say Freddie. If I didn't, I apologize. But yeah, great move by him.
Yeah.
It's funny. People keep asking me why his numbers. Well, he's double teamed everywhere he goes, and they just have a crowd of defenders around him.
He draws a lot of attention, and that has helped the run game. It's also helped some of the other wide receivers.
Sure.
But getting him involved early, getting a good rhythm throw early on for Ryland. Good first play.
We flip it to Freund near far sideline. He's got a seam and gets about 8 or 9 yards before he's dragged down over by the Ranger bench.
Tell you what, I like the way that he stuck his foot in the ground and tried to hit that seam. A lot of guys there might try to string it out and make a miss, but right there he makes a cut, gets north and south, lowers his shoulder, carries the defender for an additional 2 or 3 yards. And right here, wouldn't be surprised to see a shot. We get past midfield at 2nd and 1. You're pretty confident that even if you get an incompletion or something like that, that you can get the first down on 3rd and short. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a shot down here to one of our receivers, either Duffy or Freddie.
Duffy on the outside, DeBose in the slot. We have a delay handoff to Sowersby. He's got first down yardage before he's met at about the 45. So first down for the Rangers, 1st and 10 from the 45 as the drive continues here. The opening drive of the second half. We've played 90 seconds. The Rangers clinging to that 7-point lead.
Yeah, good job just picking up the first down. Made a liar out of me. Thought maybe they'd take a shot right there, but good job just picking up the first down. And now we're in plus territory, fresh set of downs, and we got the playbook wide open here.
Split receivers, one to either side. Walker with the snap, fakes it to Sowersby. He's looking long. He's being held.
Yeah.
Duffy he had his arms around him as he tried to make the spin on the stop route. That is Tony Graves, their corner over there, who everybody tells me how good he is, but all he did was hug him.
Yeah, it's that same. Again, it puts that corner in a tough spot, and their head coach is not happy with it. He's speaking to the official right now, but he did grab him at the top. He grabbed him at the top of the route. And again, it's that one that they ran earlier, that deep track route, that deep 20-yard stop. And that corner, you have to make a decision. Open up and run, or they're going to maybe run by me, or do I stand flat-footed and try to play it and just try to grab onto him? And that's kind of what they did there. Grabbed him at the top of the route. So, 15-yard penalty and a fresh set of downs for the Rangers.
So first down by penalty, 2 receivers near side. One to the far side. Walker wants to throw. DeBose out on the right. Has about 7 or 8 yards they still don't get him down, but they get him out of bounds. So a gain of about 7 or 8, and the Rangers will have 2nd and short.
And again, not just Freddie, but all of our receivers have shown explosiveness this year, and so they're getting a lot of respect. They're getting those corners off about 8 yards, and they're pedaling on the snap. And so as long as there's not an underneath defender there, I think those 5-yard, 7-yard, 10-yard stops route are going to be there as often as we want them to be. And Ryland does such a good job of throwing those on time that the receivers are able to do something with it after the catch.
Split receivers, Sowersby the tailback. We'll give it to him going right. Bounces it outside, has some room across the 15 or to the 15 where it's a first down for the Rangers.
Great job of sealing up the edge there. We call it stretch play for a reason. You're trying to stretch the defense out wide, but a lot of times there's some sort of edge presence out there where eventually you've got to make that one cut and get vertical. But we've seen a number of times tonight where we've completely captured the edge, and Sowersby or Spradling has been able to just keep it outside and chase towards the sideline and pick up a good gain.
Duffy to the far side, DeBose to the near side. Split receivers. They're up tight on both of them. Walker checks the bench. We check off to another play.
Got one-on-one coverage. Wouldn't be surprised to see and go. There it is, Sluggo.
DeBose over the
Touchdown.
top, or Duffy over the top, pardon me. That's a touchdown. Ryland threw a beautiful ball. He's thrown so many tonight. That another perfect one right over the top of the defensive back. Duffy catches it, goes into the end zone. The Rangers up by 2 scores now, trying for the extra point.
Yeah, I saw it. They did that hard count, and again, like we talked about earlier, it's twofold. If we get an offsides penalty, great, but what the main purpose of it is to let those coaches see what kind of defense they have. That time they didn't adjust their coverage. They had man press on both sides, and so one-on-one matchup, they took it on the slant and go route. Great throw by Ryland, a great route and a great catch by Duffy.
Amaya's extra point is up and good. 28-14. Rangers up by 2 scores. We have timeout on the field on the Ranger Network.
Welcome to Summerhill Dental, your Hill Country dentist. We are located just a few miles from Smithson Valley High School and ready to serve the entire family's needs. We specialize in same-day crowns, implants, sleep apnea, and whole health smiles. We love our community and we are proud to call ourselves Rangers. Come see us today.
Oh, man, here's a broken play. I don't think any of these guys are north to south runners. I mean, look at this one here. Just bounced outside with no blockers ahead of him. But you know, you can always call a Hail Mary, and the guy that you want as your QB is Dr. Ferris. I mean, you give Dr. Ferris the ball, and boom.
We're back to Boerne. Amaya for another kickoff. This one seems to be sailing about as far as all the rest. Lands about midway through the end zone, and Champion will have 1st and 10 on their first possession of the second half at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, we were talking during the break just how in rhythm and how how many good throws we've seen out of Ryland tonight. He always is playing well and making good throws, but especially tonight he's had great protection, clean pockets, play calling, and taking what the defense has given him has been very impressive. You know, those champion corners are giving a lot of respect to our wide receivers, playing 10 yards off, and he's done a great job catching, releasing, getting those balls out, and then taking the shots when need be. He's been playing great.
2 receivers to either way now. Ballin wants to throw, has a man across the middle. That's McVeigh. He gets hit as the ball sails over his head. Davila put the lick on him, and it's incomplete. It's 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, that's a good play. They're trying to bait Davila there. They do a long ride fake with the quarterback and running back, hoping that the safety triggers downhill, filling his alley for the run, and then try to throw a slant in behind his head. He did a great job staying home over the top of it, and a big pass breakup.
Reha takes the handoff, gets about 3 or 4 before he gets stood up and pushed back. Spradling one of the early hits, but some others in there too, including a couple of defensive linemen. I think it was Sosa that had him also.
Yeah, it looked like he had a lot of running room initially, broke through the front D line, but linebackers did a great job of closing, keeping him to a minimum gain and a big 3rd down here.
And they go 2 by 2 again on 3rd and 7. Over the middle, a catch is made and a tackle by Davila, but not until it's a 1st down.
I'll tell you what, great throw there. We had linebackers dropping, so he had to put enough air on it to get over the linebackers. You can see our linebackers dropping just enough air to get it over the top there, but firm enough to where it gets to his receiver before the safeties who are on top are able to come down and drive on it. Just a really impressive throw there.
Cameron Logan with the catch. Now the back out of the backfield. They threw a little bubble screen over here, get a couple of blocks, but defensive back stays strong and get him out of bounds. Gingrich, they'll get a gain of about 5, I think, before he marks out of bounds at the 49. Miller was also there.
Yeah, motioned the guy out of the backfield, so they had extra numbers there, so really the only way you're going to stop that without rolling your coverage is, your corner fighting through a block and making a play. And Gingrich does it, but there's still a pretty decent gain for them on 1st down.
2nd and 5 from the 49 of the Rangers. Fake the handoff. Now a man over the middle again, drops it. That was a completed pass that wasn't held on to by the receiver. This time Cameron Logan doesn't hang on to it.
And again, a pretty good throw, just a little bit high, but that's a very similar play to what we see Smithson Valley running quite a bit. Quarterback rides that running back downhill and then doesn't really take a step or a drop, just kind of throws an in rhythm little skinny post to the inside receiver. we're fortunate enough that was a little bit high and they weren't able to hang on to it.
3rd and 5. They give it to Rihas straight up the middle. First down yardage. Umpire about got caught again. Miller with Braxton, Alexander, and Spradling all there for the Rangers, but 1st and 10 to the Ranger 38.
Yeah, I think we were anticipating pass on 3rd and, pretty long there, 3rd and 6 or so, and so our linebackers were dropping, and they hit us on an inside run, increased us a little bit, and they're putting together a pretty impressive drive here after giving up an opening touchdown of themselves.
2-by-2 receivers again on 1st and 10 from the Ranger 38. We do a little twist on the line. Hack is in there. Now we're all changing him. He throws it from deep and throws it deep out of bounds. Woods, Hack, and Kuhn all were there.
Yeah, phenomenal pressure and relentless pursuit by the Rangers. You could see Ballin rolls out to his right. Oh, can't go there. There's Hack, and then he turns around to try to spin out. And, oh, here comes Woods.
Yeah.
And eventually he had to keep retreating, and a good play by him to throw it away. But that's that pressure of the D-line getting to him and also staying in your lanes, not letting him escape one way or the other. And a good job putting pressure on the quarterback there.
The best thing I saw there was Owen Hack just took the offensive lineman right back into the quarterback.
Yep.
So just some brute force there. So 2nd and 10. We blitz. They hand it off. We get him. Dudzikowski all by himself. More Rangers were there, but came in with a blitz and just caught the running back before he even took a step. It's a loss of about 3. It's 3rd down and 13.
Yeah, I didn't see. I was watching Dudzikowski on the blitz. Did they do a direct snap to the running back, or did they hand it off to him?
I thought they handed it off.
Okay. Well, great call by Coach Worsty and great timing by Dudzikowski. He hits it running.
Yeah, he did.
And they're going to call the Rangers. Who's that? Goss hit his belly, and they're going to say he was simulating the snap count. That is not a good call at all.
My, that is not.
That is not a good call.
He's not doing anything.
He hit. They tried to do a hard count, and he was about to jump, so he just kind of hit.
He just kind of went down.
He went down, didn't jump off sides or anything like that, and they're going to call a delay of game as if he was trying to simulate the snap count. That's not a good call. But regardless, still 3rd and pretty long, but it's only 3rd and 8 instead of 3rd and 13.
The running back runs out, and then there's an interception. Hack has it near sideline. All that's got him now is Ballin, and he drags him out of bounds. He just stood there, basically put his hands up and had a pick. And the Rangers have their first turnover?
Second. Gingrich had a pick.
Yeah, second turnover of the night. 6:44 to go in the 3rd.
I'll tell you what, either that was a great improvised play, but I'm thinking that was a call because Hack, he's playing defensive end. He's not supposed to be there, and that's what Ballin's saying. He's like, the defensive end's not supposed to be in the throwing lane. I think we brought a blitz up the middle and dropped Hack into coverage, and they were trying to run a little tunnel screen there, and Hack was just sitting there waiting for it, got a pick. Ballin ends up making the tackle, but not before about a 30-yard return, and the Ranger offense is set up with great field position. Again, great play and a great call by Coach Worsty and his staff.
We're back in their territory to start this drive, up by 2 scores, midway through the 3rd quarter. Delay handoff, Spradling. Looks like he gets hit from behind after a short gain of a couple of yards. It'll be 2nd and long.
Yeah, we had it blocked well up front, but they brought a blitz from the backside. He was able to run down Spradling from the backside, but looked like on the front side we had it blocked pretty well. If we were able to get out the front door there, would have been a big gain, but ran us down from behind. So minimal gain on 1st down. We got 2nd and 9.
So play clock at 15 as we break the huddle. 6:05 to go, 3rd quarter. Split receivers. And we're going to call a timeout. We'll keep it here.
Must be another miscommunication on signals or.
2nd and 9. Yeah, what do you speculate there?
I'm guessing there was either, Coach Hill called a play and then Champion came out in a defense that play wasn't going to work for him. So instead of rolling the dice, he calls a timeout. But I'm guessing there was maybe some miscommunication and a misalignment of the formation would be my guess. And again, I think this is a big critical time of the game. You're up 2 scores, just had a big turnover. I think that if you go down and you're able to punch it in and go up 3 scores, obviously the game is far from over, but you definitely take a commanding lead, and so we don't want to take any chance here or have a negative play. So take a timeout, make sure everybody's on the same page so we can have the best possible play call.
Just noticing one of our coaches has a couple of our offensive linemen over there really having an in-depth conversation, so not real sure what on the offensive line might have caused that, but in any event, they're talking about something specific. So as we break the huddle, 6:01 on the game clock. It'll start on the snap. Rangers will bring similar formation. Split receivers, tight end on the right, H-back on the left. Walker looks. Motion goes to the right. Fake to Spradling. Now we're looking down the field. He's got a man. Oh, and contact prohibits, I think it's Freddie, from making the catch. He got his hands on it, but then was bumped.
Yeah, looked like a pretty well thrown ball. Pretty good recovery. I thought that right when the ball was let go, had a couple steps on it. Pretty good job. You can see your corner recovery speed, gets his hand in there late.
Yeah.
But again, a well thrown ball by Ryland, taking a shot there when one-on-one coverage. And, again, sometimes you hit those, sometimes you don't. But at least now those corners are aware that we're willing to take those shots, and that's what's opening up those 5-yard, 10-yard stop routes that we've been hitting as well, keeping those guys honest.
Everybody but the offensive line went over to the sideline, so we've got a play here with two receivers coming to the near side. Fake the handoff. He's got some time, gets hit as he throws, and Duffy, a back shoulder throw, can't pull it in. So it's 4th down.
We're at the 34. Field goal will be a 51-yarder, a little too close to punt, so looks like the Rangers are going to go for it here.
I would agree with that. Champion fans get up on their feet trying to make some noise. Two receivers near side.
Bringing pressure with the linebackers.
Walker to throw. Has pressure, avoids it initially. Then he gets sacked. So a big play by the Champion defense as they end up sacking Ryland Walker clear back at the 44.
Yeah, brought 7 guys, went an all-out blitz, and they did a little rush stunt where one linebacker who lines up originally on the left side crosses over to the other side. We didn't pick it up, so Ryland wasn't able to step into a throw, had to scramble immediately. And, pretty good job. I mean, in that situation right there, don't make a bad play worse. You don't want to just throw one up. Even though it's 4th down, you want to throw one up and run the risk for a pick six or something like that. Your defense is playing well. And so even though it was a sack and a turnover on downs, trusting that the Ranger defense goes out and does their job.
So the Ranger defense called upon as Champion has possession. At the 46, they'll throw near side. That's Cameron again, Cameron Logan. Completed pass up to midfield.
Here pretty soon, I wouldn't be surprised if those Rangers, first guys wrapping them up, and everybody else, you see them trying to rip that ball out.
Yes,
so
sir.
far, Champion's doing a great job of ball security. Wouldn't be surprised to see one of those come loose here as we go on in the game and maybe create a big turnover there.
2x2 receivers on either side. No tight end. The back is Reha. Ballin takes the snap. Gives it to Reha, coming near side. Tries to cut up.
That was a good play. Cannon Day didn't make the tackle, but he did a great job of realizing it was sweep to him, and there was a guy on the outside coming to pin him and crack him. He noticed it, jumped outside, forced the running back into where his help was, and they were able to make a tackle after a short gain. So even though he doesn't get the credit for the tackle there, Day with a great play, forcing that running back to cut back.
That is a great point because that was a big part of that. 4.5 to go, 3rd quarter. It's 3rd and 3 from the 49. He got a yard on the play. Day wants to blitz. Here he comes. They hand it off to Reha again. I don't think he got there. Oh, my.
They're going to go for it. But great stop. Again, he broke through the initial line, and it looked like he was easily going to pick it up. And then you see the replay right there. Who was it? was a mixture of Miller and maybe somebody else. Just stood him up, drove him back. So now it's still going to be 4th and short, but a big stop there to keep him from getting the first down. So now we got a big-time 4th down.
So 4th and about a half a yard is all they have to get.
Rangers got a lot of people up on the front.
So 6 on the line. Motion. They give it to Reha. He's got the first down. Not by a lot as Miller knocks him down right as he crosses the 45, but it is good enough for a first down.
He got a first down, but he paid for it. Miller, I'll tell you what, from this safety position, see in the replay there, he is coming up and sticking his nose in there. That's 2 plays in a row that he has. When he's made contact with the ball carrier goes backwards.
Yes.
That time he was able to pick up the first down before he was hit, but really good physical downhill tackle by Miller from the safety spot.
Rangers ends are both up. They fake a handoff, throw it to the edge. A completed pass and a spin move, not much. Dudzikowski is there among others. The catch was made by Sawyer Boley, but it's only for a yard. It's 2nd down and 9. There's Owen Hack on the bottom of the pile.
Again, just like a couple plays ago where we talked about Day not getting the credit for the tackle, but being a big part of that play. Gingrich, same thing. He goes up and jams that corner, not letting the receiver get outside of it, making him come back in. And the pursuing Rangers were able to make a tackle after a short game. Good play by Gingrich.
2nd and 9. Here comes a blitz with Day from the outside. He gets rid of it. A completed pass on the middle. Running away from defenders. Gingrich finally runs him down. That's Boley again. And a completed pass for a first down to the 33-yard line.
He brought pressure there. Good job by Champion of picking it up. And Ballin's been dangerous tonight when he's had time, whenever he's been able to take his 3-step drop, get one hitch, and throw the ball, and the ball comes out without pressure. And that time they did a good job of picking up our blitz. He was able to deliver an accurate ball over the middle for a first down.
2 receivers to the far side, and H-back on the right. They fake the handoff to Rei. There's pressure. He gets rid of it, but no catch is made.
Yeah, timing got thrown off a little bit. I think our DB, not sure who it was, I think maybe Davila, I think he does a good job of jamming the receiver at the top of the route, which makes Ballin hold it for just a count longer. And he felt those DNs closing in, and so he just smartly got rid of it quickly, but wasn't able to get anything on it and skipped it in there for an incompletion.
So our ends, Woods and Hack. Hack's been the bigger name we've called more tonight. See if Woods can do something here. On 2nd and long, trying to drag it out. But Ballin's covered up as he gets about another yard to the 32. It's 3rd down and long.
And again, although he gets a very minimal gain, you can see we had a chance to get him for a loss there, maybe 3 or 4 yard loss, and he does a good job of making somebody miss and at least getting back to the line of scrimmage. But 3rd and 9 here.
We bring somebody up the middle. Now pressure. The throw over the middle. Miller on coverage, but it goes incomplete over the top of the receiver by about 5 yards.
And again, that's created by the pressure up front. Brought an extra linebacker, did a twist up front. Roberts, the sophomore, comes free, and you can see on the replay, right in his face. Does a good job of pulling up and not getting a hit on him, give the ref an excuse to throw roughing the passer, but enough to make him throw off his back foot and not have an accurate ball. So 4th and 9 for the Charger offense.
Boy, Woods got through there. The ball, that almost hit the umpire. Dudzikowski has it. Here's his return. He comes away from a tackler. He might not be caught. He gets a block from Duffy inside the 10.
Touchdown.
Dives for the pylon and scores. Touchdown, Rangers. Wow.
For a second, I thought the ref intercepted it, but
I thought it hit the umpire.
Yeah, we got pressure. Woods, from our end
Right.
spot, you can see on the replay, Woods is running the hump right there, gets a little bit of pressure, and there must have been a miscommunication because Ballin's a very accurate passer, but there wasn't anybody around there. Must have thought his receiver was going to run a dig and in route. Dudzikowski was there, and the ref had to jump out of the way, but Dudzikowski catches it. Great job of returning it for a touchdown, but a great job of blocking for him and not getting a block on the back or anything like that. And obviously a huge play for the Rangers to make it a 3-score game.
So with 1:22 to go, the extra point by Amaya makes it 35-14. We'll talk about this play when we come back. Right now, a timeout on the Ranger Network.
Hey, I got another one for you. And just look at the hole in this line. You could drive a truck right through there. I mean, the refrigerator William Perry could get a first down there. But you know who's going to get their number called for this one? Yeah, that's right, Dr. Ferris. He's like a ligating linebacker. Boom, just like that. And that's why Ferris Orthodontics is going to get the MVP for this one.
Welcome to Summerhill Dental, your Hill Country dentist. We are located just a few miles from Smithson Valley High School and ready to serve the entire family's needs. We specialize in same-day crowns, implants, sleep apnea, and whole health smiles. We love our community and we are proud to call ourselves Rangers. Come see us today.
Go. As we're back to Boerne, a 70-yard interception return by Dudzikowski, Nicholas Dudzikowski. By the way, just so you know, we don't really get through these. 49 tackles, 9 for loss, 4 fumble recoveries, 2 interceptions, now 3, 1 PBU, 1 batted ball. He had 14 tackles and 4 for loss against Wagner a couple of weeks ago. He's having a pretty nice senior year.
Yeah, he's one of the guys who makes that defense go. He's obviously got a lot of good playmakers on that side of the ball, but it seems like we're calling his name an awful lot. He does a great job.
They're going to return this. I think this is Reha at the 5. Gets hit
Fumble.
Down at the 7. The ball's
Fumble.
loose, and
Rangers
we've got it. The Rangers have it again. Not real sure. Was that De Hoyos?
I think it was Davila. Somebody ran in. You can see the replay here. Comes in and kind of dives and lays out and just reaches for the ball and spins him around. No, that was 22.
That was De Hoyos.
Yeah, that was De Hoyos.
De Hoyos got it
What
and
a play,
spun it
De
away.
Hoyos.
Yeah. Anyway, 70-yard interception return by Dudzikowski. It's 35-14. Now the Rangers have the ball again. And
yeah, that is the 4th turnover. 3 interceptions by the defense and then a turnover in the kicking game there. And so, once again, Rangers starting out with phenomenal field position at the 10-yard line.
Walker gives it to Sowersby, going right, plants, well, didn't really get a chance to plant his foot, and now a flag comes in, likely a hold. Don't really know what else it could be at that point.
Unless there was a face mask, but I didn't see one, so I'm guessing it's going to be against the Rangers, a hold.
Yeah. So the ball won't be at the 10. Rangers will find themselves first and goal again, but now from
the 20.
The 20. Should have less than a minute to go in the 3rd quarter when this play happens, as we're still having conversations with the sideline. Ryland gets the sign, and with about 12 on the play clock, he breaks the huddle. The receiver to either side kind of in tight. DeBose goes in motion to the right. We give it to Sowersby, who comes left, gets about 5 yards, and then gets thrown down. So it will be 2nd and goal, this time from the 15. And that might be the last. Well, no, it looks like we'll have to run at least one play.
Cut by Sowersby, cut it all the way back. Gets up in there, lowers his shoulder, gets 5 yards of it back or so, and so 2nd and goal from about the 16-yard line. And again, you're up 3 scores. So last thing you want to do after getting a big turnover down there is turning it over yourself. And so I expect some pretty conservative play calling here to at least reserve the right to kick a field goal.
Likely the last play of the quarter. We'll pitch it. Sowersby going right. Has a good cut, turns it up, crosses the 10, and he's down near the 5 as the quarter comes to an end. 35-14. The Rangers are up by 3 scores, and that's the end of the 3rd quarter.
Building a home, have hail damage, or your roof is just grown old and tired. Eternal Roofing's award-winning company will meet all of your roofing needs. We specialize in all roofing styles and service the Hill Country and surrounding areas. We are family-owned and fellow Rangers that love our community and look forward to growing alongside of it. Call us today and go Rangers!
Go.
And the fourth quarter will come underway in just a couple of moments. It's 3rd down and goal from the balls at the 6. So still 3rd and goal, so this is probably definitely a 4-down area.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I think that if they get the ball inside the 2 or 3, they'll go for it, but maybe, kick a field goal and make it and extend the lead. Wouldn't be surprised to maybe see a slant route or something here. See if we can get the ball in the end zone. Sluggo.
Duffy catches it in the near corner. I'm watching DeBose on the far side. Is he okay? I think so.
But again, they made a liar out of me. I said run a slant. Instead, they ran a slant and go. They ran a sluggo. Corner fell for the slant fake. Over the top to Duffy.
Another well-thrown ball by Rylan Walker.
Perfectly thrown ball.
So Duffy catches his 2nd touchdown of the second half.
Yeah, and then he, about 3 yards out of the back of the end zone is that old, it's not track, but it's that slick surface. So he gets back there and he slips and he gets up and jogs off the field. So he's okay. But again, I can't say enough about the ball by Rylan and how he's played all night, taking care of the football, but also just making perfect throws. And that was another perfect throw right there to make it a 42-14.
42-14. Rangers on top, 6 seconds into the fourth quarter. There's timeout on the field on the Ranger Network.
Building a home, have hail damage, or your roof is just grown old and tired. Eternal Roofing's award-winning company will meet all of your roofing needs. We specialize in all roofing styles and service the Hill Country and surrounding areas. We are family-owned and fellow Rangers that love our community and look forward to growing alongside of it. Call us today and go Rangers!
Rangers 4-0 in district play. Champion came in 3-1, losing last week to Wagoner. So the Rangers at 42-14 with 12 minutes to go, 11:54 to go, look to be on their way to being 5-0 in district play. Amaya's kickoff. This one's kind of short again. Reha will let it bounce into the end zone, and it does. And it, as it did a little while ago, came back out, but once it hits into the end zone, it's a dead ball.
Yeah, I think that's what happened on the last kickoff where we ended up getting the ball. Maya kicks it out of the end zone so often you might lull him to sleep a little bit. And so when he kicked that, it didn't reach the end zone, and he was kind of surprised. Oh, crap, I got to catch this thing and actually run it out. And our pursuit was down there, and DeHoyle causes that fumble. And it almost happened again. It landed a yard deep in the end zone and then came back. If that ball would have landed about a yard shorter, that would have been in the field of play, like an iron shot there that spun backwards. But nonetheless, it goes in for a touchback, and Champion's going to start at the 25-yard line.
Your point, too, though, is he kicks it to the end zone every time, but our guys are still running full speed down the field. It's not like they're there if it does go short. Ballin wants to roll right now, has a man in the flat, but he throws it over the top, and it's touched by Duffy before it gets to the receiver with Davila in coverage.
Yeah, it was good coverage by Davila over the top, but a really good play by Duffy. He's playing underneath coverage. They ran a little speed out to occupy him. He read it, dropped back, and he was able to retreat and jump, high point it, and get a tip on it. And because that was a pretty well-thrown ball in the little smash route corner by the inside receiver.
Cameron Logan was the intended receiver. Now they've got 2 to the far side, 1 to the near. They give it to Reha, and he gets shoe tackled by Hack again. Gets in the backfield and makes the tackle for a loss of a yard. It's 3rd down and 11.
Yeah, and you talked about it during break. Obviously I think Champion's goal right now is to sustain a drive and get some confidence and things like that. But Ranger defense, in those first 2 series, Coach Wersey and staff made adjustments, and it pretty much been shutting them down ever since.
Both 2x2s were in tight. Ballin wants to run now. No one's there. He's got first down yardage Finally gets caught from behind and gets wrestled down at the Ranger 40.
And that was really the first time all night that we've seen him break contain up the middle and able to scramble and pick up a big gain with his feet. We've seen him escape the pocket to the outside.
Is that him that fell down or went down?
Yeah, he got up and walked back to the huddle, and then he kind of fell down. I'm not sure whether he's hopefully maybe just a cramp.
So we'll keep it here as their training staff goes out. Again, they've got a backup quarterback named Brock Browning. He's a senior. He's thrown only 5 passes all year, but he's warming up on the sideline. Not sure if Boerne got hurt when he was spun down that time or if it's just a cramp.
He's getting up and walking off now. So, again, hopefully he's okay. He is obviously a huge playmaker from them, and Champion is in position to make the playoffs, and obviously they will need him,
right?
For their last 2 district ball games and into the playoffs, and it looks like he's okay. But he's going to have to come out for at least 1 play.
Like maybe his lower back or something like that was bothering him. I didn't really see a leg that was a problem.
Yeah, it wasn't really limping or anything, so.
Maybe just got the wind knocked out of him,
maybe
perhaps. So again, Browning is the quarterback in there. They send 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near. Rehas still in the backfield, and they'll hand it to him. Goes up the middle, drags some defenders a couple of yards. Good tackle by Sosa, but a gain of about 5 makes it 2nd and 5.
And you're seeing a little playing time by the sophomore linebacker Hornsby there. Colton Hornsby gets in on the tackle. You see him out there getting some quality reps.
Throw to the near sideline, incomplete. The receiver had it and then couldn't hang on to it, so it's 3rd down and 5.
Pretty good coverage by Hornsby, but then also there's by Gingrich, but then again there's Hornsby pursuing from his outside linebacker position and getting a hit on him while he was bobbling it and made sure that it was an incomplete pass. So good hustle and good pursuit by him.
Ballin is back in.
Yep. What a name for a quarterback, by the way.
Yeah.
Ballin.
Clock is stopped with the incomplete pass. 10:21 to go in the game. Fake to Reha. He picks up the blitzer. Ballin's running up the middle. Gets away from a couple of defenders. Now crosses midfield. Runs into Dudzikowski, who doesn't let him go any further, and he's out of bounds for 1st down yardage.
And again, we talked about it multiple times tonight. That's what he gives you right there. Pocket breaks down, got pressure, had 2 or 3 guys that got their hands on him, almost get a sack, and he's able to wiggle out of there and pick up a 1st down and extend the drive for the Charger offense.
So both receivers, 2 by 2, are very tight to the formation. Ballin to throw, has some pressure up the middle, throws it over the top. Davila there and has an interception.
I think that was an old Percy route, what we call Percy, where 5 receivers in the route and you got guys run into the corners and you try to slip one of your backs right up the middle and force one of the linebackers to have to run with them. That time Davila saw it, came back over the top and won the high point. Both of them went up there and he won the jump ball and able to come down for the 4th interception of the night by the Ranger defense and the 5th overall turnover.
Ballin threw that ball so high that I think Davila really actually ended up with better position to make the catch. So he kind of screened out the offensive player. So the Rangers have the ball at the 17, 1st and 10. 10:04 to go in the game, up 42-14. We'll flip it to Freddie, coming near side, cuts up, makes a move across the 30, then gets dragged out of bounds. Everybody wants to tackle Freddie DeBose because they have so much trouble when they do. Somebody says something to him and he points to the scoreboard. I'm not sure. It was almost looked like he was talking to one of the coaches. Game clock stopped at 9:56. 1st down for the Rangers at the 33. Freund comes near side. DeBose goes far side. Both inside. Well, DeBose inside the hash. Now he comes in motion again. Sowersby will scramble up the middle and get 5 or 6 to the 44 before he's pushed back. Sowersby's had a good game tonight.
He has, man. He's run hard. You know, him and Spradling are very different runners, but like we talked about earlier, they're both very effective. He's more of a slasher, you know, making drastic cuts, making guys miss, whereas Spradling is more of a downhill one-cut guy. Both of them very explosive, but Sowersby has done a great job sticking his foot in the ground and getting north and south and picking up good chunk yardage pretty much every time he's gotten the ball.
Well, they're going to have to call a timeout because they're short of players. They ended up sending Boley out there. One of the receivers went out. He does play some defense. He is a free safety also, but they have to call a timeout because somebody was late getting out there.
Yeah, they ran somebody on late. I don't know whether someone from the previous play got banged up and didn't communicate or what the deal was, but Champion has to use a timeout. And we were about to run some sort of motion there. Freund was coming in motion. Whether we were going to give it to him or he was going to be a little bit of a decoy, I'm not sure. But that had been 3 plays in a row where we brought somebody in motion. One time we gave it to Freddie. One time we faked it to him and handed it off. So would have been interesting to see what we did there with Freund coming in motion.
Kind of similar to the plays they started on their first drive where they used a lot of motion to take the focus away.
Yeah, you get guys running across, and obviously Smithson Valley for a number of years has, you know, a lot of teams bring those guys in motion, and, you know, out of every 10 times they do that, they may hand it off to them one time. And so it's not really that much, you know, effective. But Smithson Valley hands it off just to the fly sweep guy just as much as not. And so it's definitely something that you've got to account for when somebody goes in motion. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Freund do it here from the slot position again.
So 2nd and 4 or 5. Here's Freund. Going far side, stops, plants, and then goes forward and gets a first down. Great run by Cole Freund. Or reception. That's a flip, so it's a reception. Yes.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, these Charger cheerleaders have one of those T-shirt cannons, and they're firing it up here. And then every time I think it's a flag coming on the field,
I agree.
or I think something's coming at us, and it makes me.
You make a great point because that happened the whole first half, and I kept thinking it's a flag.
Yeah, they're rocking and rolling with that T-shirt cannon down there. So. Good first down by the Rangers there. 8 minutes left, obviously in control of the game, so trying to take up as much clock as they can. And
backup quarterback warming up again for the Chargers. It's 1st and 10. Sowersby kind of picks his way for about 3 or 4 yards. Freddie involved again.
Those two have been going back and forth a little bit. And
he and Boley kind of blocking. Freddie was blocking. Boley was covering. On the run by Sowersby that got 3 yards, it's 2nd and 7. Freddie comes out now. The emotions of high school football. A couple of tight ends, 2 receivers to the far side. Give it to Sowersby. Up the middle, not much there. They stuff it up, and he might have lost a yard.
Yeah, that was a gap scheme, counter, GF play again, and that was the first time all night that they kind of got some penetration on the front side. Didn't allow our pullers to get up into the hole, and so kind of stopped that one in its tracks to make a 3rd and long here on a 3rd and 8. But again, that clock is rolling.
Yes,
it is. I think we got the ball with over 10 minutes left in the quarter. Already taken 3 minutes off the clock.
The ball's at the 45. It is 3rd and 8. 2 receivers to the far side. There's a couple of tight ends. Will throw it. Day catches it, makes one man miss, gets first down yardage across the 45 into Charger territory at the 40 before he's dragged down by a couple of defenders. Brody Day.
Yeah, and like we talked about so often with the running backs, and we mentioned a couple times, hey, we're blocking these 7, the 8th guy's on you. Out there on that bubble screen or that hitch route, you know, there's a corner and a safety, and you got the other receiver blocking one of those 2, typically whoever's most dangerous, but it's your job. If you want a, you know, explosive play, you've got to make one of those guys miss, and that time Brody did a great job of making the safety miss in the open field and then going to pick up a first down on just essentially an extension of the run game, a little bubble screen. picks up about 15 yards for a first down.
I think we're going to call a timeout as Ryland's gone to the referee as the play clock runs down. 6:20 on the game clock. We do call a timeout.
Yeah, Coach Hill's going to call a timeout, and we're going to get some other guys in there. Secure the first down. 6 minutes left in the game. Going to get the starters out, get a new batch of guys in there. See if they can go finish off this drive.
Well, let's see who comes out and plays quarterback, whether it's Spradling or Carvajal. We've seen both play quarterback this district season. Who you thinking?
I don't know. I mean, you kind of walk that fine line. Spradling is the guy that will come in if something, if it's a, if something were to happen to Ryland in a crunch time situation. So you kind of walk that fine line between, well, let's get him some reps at the quarterback position, but also with the game in hand, you don't want to run the risk of him being such a crucial role at not just offense but linebacker every snap. And so, it looks like Cisco's probably going to be the one that comes in here to come in at quarterback for this series.
Cisco gets a final word from one of the coaches, and he will bring the unit out. Cisco Carvajal, the junior, has a receiver either way, a couple of tight ends. Little confusion. De Hoyos is the quarterback. Carvajal keeps it. Got kind of stuffed up in the back and then went forward and got a couple of yards at 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, miscommunication there. I'm not sure whether it was Carvajal or De Hoyos. One of them went the wrong way.
Yes.
I think it might have been De Hoyos, supposed to be stretched to the left, and De Hoyos went to the right. And again, that's a lonely feeling as a quarterback. You stick the ball out there and there's nobody there, and you got all of a sudden tuck it and try to make something happen. But again, a good job by him of getting up in there and getting positive yardage on what could have been a negative play.
Coach Hill comes out and tells Cisco what to do here. So 2 receivers come out to the near sideline. And H-back, and De Hoyos is the tailback on 2nd and 8. This time he gets it, full head of steam. Gets some good motion forward up to about the 34. It'll be 3rd down and about 4.
Good downhill run by De Hoyos. Picking up positive yards there, and I know that we got some other guys in there, but like we say every week when we're able to get some other guys in there that, these guys practice and, these coaches don't expect any drop-off. When those guys go in there, they're going to go out there and execute and show what they can do, and De Hoyos is a very talented runner in his own right, and so I'd be surprised to see some positive yardage here.
They shuffle a bunch of players in and out as it's 3rd and 4. De Hoyos, full head of steam. Don't know if he got it, though, up to about the 32, inside the 32 maybe, before he's dropped down and back. So it'll be 4th and 2 from the 32. It's 42-14, 4:28 to go on a running 4th quarter clock.
And again, even if we don't end up with points here, being 4th down, great job. Starting offense goes out there with about 10 minutes left in the quarter. Picks up 3 or 4 first downs, a lot of that running the football with some timely completions, keeping that clock running. Looks like the Rangers are going to take a 1-second timeout here, take as much time off the clock as they can, then talk about their 4th down call. But again, even if we don't end up with any points here, we're taking 6 minutes off the clock.
4 minutes exactly to go. The Rangers will take another timeout. We'll stay here with it as it will be 4th and 2. They need to get to the 30. Ball's on the 32. You can hear the defense or the champion coaches to our right screaming a bunch during that last series, trying to get the right guys on the field.
Yeah, I think they're subbing some guys in and out too. Obviously don't want to get anybody banged up. They still got a lot to play for this season, and so they're subbing a few guys in and out, so making sure that they're on the same page. And
after this week, they go to Lehman and then have MacArthur. Those are 2 of the teams that down at the bottom without a win in district play left on their schedule, so they'll likely end up, they'll go 3-2 after this one, so they'll be 5-2 to end the season in district play.
You would think,
just 1 overall loss, or 2 overall losses, I'm sorry, 2 in district play.
And those teams are playing tonight, MacArthur and Lehman. Curious to see who won that game. Let me look at some scores from around the district here.
So it's 4th and 2 from the 32 as we're back. Exactly 4 minutes left in the game. Motion. Will flip it. It's a tough flip, hard to catch. Turning upfield and getting first down yardage is Jackson Tillery. And that'll be first down for the Rangers as the clock continues to roll after the chains have been moved.
Yeah, good job of corralling that toss there.
Yeah.
A little bit bobbled there, and then so you think, oh, man, timing's off. But I'll tell you what, he does a good job of once he secured that, making a guy miss, lowering his shoulder, and going to pick up the first down.
Good right-hand turn by Jackson. Or is that Javon? No, is it Jackson? I can't see. My eyes are so bad. Jackson Tillery.
Yeah.
Great first down play there. So the Rangers come out. 2 receivers near side. They give it to De Hoyos up the middle again, and he gets stuffed after a couple of yards. They're not ready. They're not letting him get loose at all.
No, I mean, again, Champion's a good football team. They're well coached. They're fundamentally sound, and so they're going to play till the end as well. And like I said, Coach Ellis and his staff do a great job. And they got plenty of, they're ending up on the wrong side of this one. They still got plenty to play for this season. With two ball games left, and then into the playoffs. And so
Dominic DeToto is out there. Play clock at 10 as we break the huddle. Receiver either way. DeToto runs into and runs over a defensive back. That wasn't a defensive back either. That was one of their linebackers, I think. Yeah, the Sam linebacker, William Toller, got run over.
Yeah, good blocking up front by the right side of that line. Ran the outside zone, had a little crease there, and good job of cutting it up by DeToto and lowering his shoulder and picking up some positive yards, making it a third manageable.
De Hoyos is back on the field on 3rd and 4. Again, split receivers. Motion from the H-back. De Hoyos going to go outside left, far side, sideline, down the run, and into the end zone. It's the second or third time tonight when we got outside, they were not there to come up and help.
Yeah, great job of sealing the edge. As we talked about before, usually you expect stretch play, keep stretching it out, then make that one cut. But we're sealing off the edge out there, and De Hoyos shows his speed, gets down the sideline for a touchdown. And so not only do we go down there and score, but we took pretty much over 8 minutes off the clock in doing it here in the fourth quarter. So we're under 2 minutes to play. Good, long, time-consuming drive that gets capped off by a touchdown with De Hoyos.
The extra point by Amaya is up and good. It's 49-14, 1:45 to go. Final timeout of the night here on the Ranger Network.
Tarnation! You either gotta get that daggum thing removed or name it something. Yeah, right there. There's gotta be sawbones that can separate your path from Molezilla there.
Molezilla? Hang on, fella. I've seen less wrinkles in a catcher's mitt. Actually, next time you get a call, you best be answering the iron. And those aren't crow's feet. They're pterodactyl feet.
Well, where do you reckon we go to fix them up?
I've heard of a place, Dermatology San Antonio.
Where's that? Spring Branch! But the name is Dermatology San Antonio.
It's in Spring Branch.
Yeehaw! Spring Branch!
Go. And we're back in Boerne ISD, BISD Stadium here in Boerne, Texas. Right near the campus of Boerne High School. Champion just down the road, but they both play here. Greyhounds in one end zone, Chargers in the other end zone. 1:45 to go in the game. The Rangers up 49-14. It was 21-14 at halftime, so the defense hasn't allowed anything, and the offense has scored 4 touchdowns.
If you remember, Smith Valley was down 14-7. They've rolled off 42 straight points.
Short kickoff fielded by Reha at the 11. And he gets to the 25, and then about 5 Rangers put him down.
And you can't say enough. Obviously, offense has played very, very well tonight. A lot of explosive plays like we talked about in the beginning, but you can't say enough about the defense coming out first 2 drives, giving up 2 touchdowns, some explosive plays. Coach Worsty and his staff make adjustments and basically has shut them out, from the 3rd series on. The Rangers reel off 42 straight points.
Is McGinnis the backup kicker? Because
yes.
he kicked that off. That's why it was fielded at the 10.
Yeah, so McGinnis.
I think he was glad he got it to the 10, really honest with you.
Yeah, and we still pinned him almost to the 25-yard line like a touchback anyway. So great coverage by the Ranger special teams.
So a bunch of defense or a bunch of second stringers in for the Rangers now. They'll run it. Rehag gets about 6 or 7 up to the 31. So a gain of actually 5. It'll be 2nd down and 5. Roberts in on the tackle. He's one of the backups, but some other backups are out there too. McGinnis, who kicked off, is out there.
I think they got some other guys in. I can't tell the number. I think that running back, number 26, Chris Castillo.
Yeah, he's probably in for them. That makes sense.
Again, hard to see those numbers.
He gets it again because they've got a backup quarterback in. They don't give up a first down. He'll get up near the 35 is where they'll spot forward progress, but the Rangers shut him down there. It'll be 3rd and 1 as the game clock goes under a minute to go. I think this is Browning in at quarterback again, and as Brian mentioned, Chris Castillo is the tailback. Another handoff. Looks like first down yardage, but not much more. A gain of about 5 to the 39. Bunch of Rangers in there and more subbing in.
Looks like almost after every play, it's like a hockey line change. You got
it is.
5 or 6 guys coming in, 5 or 6 guys coming off, and it looks like should be the last play of the game, barring running out of bounds or something.
Castillo takes it, and he's going to get shoved out of bounds with 20 seconds to go. I'll be shocked if they don't keep the clock running.
Stop the clock and give one more crack at it.
Yeah, the white hat wanted to start it, but he didn't. Not here. Yeah, he's not going to start it. So this could be the last play. 2nd and 6. Castillo again. Kuhn makes the tackle up to the 45, 46-yard line, and that should be the final play of the game. More hockey line changes coming in for the Rangers, but I think that will be the final play as their coaches start coming out on the field to shake hands. So the Rangers will escape with a 49-14 win. The Rangers improved to 7-1 and 5-0 in district play. The Chargers fall to 6-2 and 3-2.
Yeah, overall, just phenomenal job by the entire Ranger team, all 3 phases of the game. Offense, I think, had its most explosive game. Ryland played outstanding with a number of great throws, timely throws, receivers making big catches. Sowersby and Spradlin, great job running the ball. And again, can't say enough about the defense, giving up those 2 touchdowns, first 2 drives, and then shutting them down and allowing, with 5 total turnovers, and allowing the Rangers to reel off 42 straight points to end up winning 49-14.
Unbelievable. Rangers win it big, 49-14. So for Brian Hill and everyone with Wick Productions, great camera work on a dual broadcast. This is Tony Brubaker saying goodnight and God bless. The Rangers win it 49-14.
Go Rangers.